balance, curiosity, being tribal, always knowing why you're there. And the fifth one is this. And heads will nod in this crowd because we know this is absolutely critical. And this is the thing that you will find most lacking in the private sector as you transition. All elites share their scars. They preach from their pain. Any lesson that we learned downrange that a unit learned before us, that unit is accountable for the mistake that we made. The turnover is one of the most vital parts of the military evolution. All elites share their scars. You know the deal. You come back from a flight. If you're in a combat unit, you step off the helicopter, you're all covered in dust, you're tired, you haven't slept in 3 days. Do you go shower, turn your weapons in? Nope. You go to the mission room, you debrief everything that happened. Give the guys coming in behind you the gift of not having to make your mistakes. All elites share their scars. And they do it because they know that the only way to get where they say they want to go is not let other people make the mistakes they made on the way there. At best, you get where you said you were going to go, but it takes you longer and it costs you way more. In our world that we come out of, best thing that happens is you die. You die. Because you weren't brave enough to share your scars with someone. Worst thing that happens is someone else does. Because you kept that secret. And it costs another man or woman their life. This is the single greatest difference we can make in the private sector, is demanding and maintaining our spirit of accountability and authenticity in the private sector. It buckles the knees of titans in industry when we get up and walk out because they're not authentic and accountable. Last Tuesday night when they sent Ralph to jail for the rest of his life, I told him, I said, I'm excited because accountability won. And if the private sector in D.C. can learn anything from us as we begin to invade the private sector in D.C. is accountability is going to win, especially if we don't cede turf on that. Appeasement, accommodation, and apathy, it's permission. Don't let this outside world change you in that, because it's the only thing that makes our nation great. It's the lifeblood of the units we come from. It's the legacy we can push into the private sector now. Balance, curiosity, being tribal, always knowing why you're there, your high why and your big why, and sharing your scars. Does that sound pretty familiar? That'll make you feel pretty good. It's an advantage you have that people that have been in the industry for 10, 15, 20 years, they may have forgotten. And then that gap is your advantage. And all folks like us need is a gap. We do pretty good with that. I loved being in the Navy. I loved it. I loved the history of it. I loved being in the military. But the Navy I found really resonated with me. I love the metaphor of being a ship at sea. I think it's a great metaphor. You know, if you're one person on one ship and you fall off, you're going to die. The ocean doesn't care who you are, doesn't care where you're from, doesn't care about your creed, your preference, your race, does not care. If you are one person on one ship and you fall off, you're going to die. But if you got another person on that ship with you, you got a chance. You got a chance. The best of all situations is you're in a fleet, a bunch of ships and boats heading the same direction, what I call a tribe at sea. If you fall out of your ship then, you're going to be just fine. Someone's going to pick you up. I loved our sayings too. One of my favorite sayings in the military was hold fast and stay true. In the Navy, that wasn't unique to the United States Navy. It's a seafaring statement. They've said it for years. As long as men and women have gone to sea, they've said this. And it meant so much to me when I was a freshman. I buried my father, and I always angered, and I was trying to just stay on course and just not mess this gift of service up. And I used to write it on my knuckles. I wrote HOLD-FAST, and on my hands I wrote STAY-TRUE. Hold fast, stay true. And in the Navy, here's what it meant. When you're on a ship and the seas come in and bad seas start, everyone on the ship looks at each other and goes, hold fast, hold fast, hold fast. And what they're telling each other to do is grab the things that will not fail. Hang on. Just grab the things that will not fail and hang on. Stay true was for you, me. The person at the helm was the leader of a family, of a company, of a unit. And what it was saying was, if you're holding that ship's wheel, you hold fast, and they turn to look at you, they go, stay true. What they were saying was this: when the storm hits, There's a course that you were steering before the storm hit. And when that storm hits you, you're either going to let the wave steer you, the wind steer you, the storm steer you, or you're going to stay true. And staying true is the only way to punch through. How do you beat an ambush? Fight through it. Every time. Fight through it, flank it, but don't stop. Stay true. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me because I know what's coming into the private sector. And it's men and women of balance, curiosity, tribal. Men and women who always know why they're there, men and women who will share their scars. When you leave tonight, we're going to have about 1 million opportunities to be bad, average, good, excellent, or elite. I challenge you, fellow warriors, to be elite. Be elite, be elite, be elite, be elite, be elite. Hold fast, stay true. Thanks for letting me spend time with you. Thank you very much.